Hello, my lovely wolf pack. Welcome to episode 4 of Urban Legends and Unsolved Mysteries. Today, we're not going to be talking about an urban legend. Today, we're going to be looking at an unsolved mystery called The Boy in the Box. Now, I've of course talked about this on my channel before, but for anybody who's new to my channel or who is a channel subscriber and doesn't know this story, this is for you. So, before you start the video, remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Follow me and everything, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. And if you want to see my last video, you can check the description or the end screen. It was quite something. You'll definitely laugh at it. Alright, so, like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what urban legends or what unsolved mysteries you want to hear about, and I will do my best to research it and share it in a video. So yeah, roll the intro. Alright, so The Boy in the Box. In late February 1957, a young man was checking his musket traps in the Fox Chase neighborhood of Philadelphia country, Pennsylvania, when discovered the body of a young boy inside a box. Not wanting to the authorities to confiscate his traps, he did not report the finding. A few days later, at 3:45 p.m. on February 25th, a 26-year-old Frederick J. Benson, a LA Sales College junior, claimed to be driving his car along, I can't really say this name of the road, but whatever, he was riding down the road when he saw a rabbit dash into the nearby thicket. Knowing there were animal traps in the area, he pulled over and went in the woods area, where he too came across the body. The child had been wrapped in a blanket before being placed inside the box, and his head and shoulders were sticking out. According to Benson, he believed the boy had actually been a doll, and he didn't contact the police about the discovery. The next day, Benson was listening to the radio when he heard the report of a missing 4-year-old girl. Believing what he'd seen the previous day, he related and contacted the police. When asked why he'd waited a day to report the discovery, he said he had been spying on students of the nearby Good Shepherd School and didn't want the authorities to know why he was actually in the area. Unfortunately, the child in the box was not the missing girl, who was found deceased a week later in a vacant home, where she'd wandered to and died of starvation. The area where the unidentified child was found located in the 1700 block something road near Veer Road and Pennypack Park within the Northeast Philadelphia. Autopsy. The body was examined upon being brought into the medical examiner's office, where numerous things were noticed. The first was that John Doe had appeared to have died as a result of blunt force trauma. So, as there were 4 round-shaped bruises on the forehead, and his face was blood drained. This appeared to have been an extension of what looked like years of abuse, as there were bruises all over his body. His lips were dry and bloody, and his body was so emasculated that his ribs were showing through his skin. Desperate amount of abuse he'd likely suffered, John Doe had not experienced any broken bones or deformities. Around the time John Doe's body was found, the weather had been cold and rainy, making determining a time of death difficult. In the end, the medical examiner examined him to have died anywhere from a few days to 2 weeks prior, with leaning towards a few days, given the body had been and was dry amid a week of rain. Wow, that sucks. Other things were noticed, including the fact that John Doe's right palm, the sole had been, and the soles of both of his feet were rough and wrinkled, which indicated that those limbs had been submerged in water close when he died. It's also said that his... Okay, I'm gonna try to say this as best as I can. I can't pronounce that word. Why is there so many of these words? I have no fucking clue. His whatever contained dark brown residue, including he'd vomited shortly before his death, desperate, not having eaten for 2 or 3 hours prior. That's sad. What the fuck? The investigation. At the beginning of the investigators were very optimistic that John Doe would quickly be identified. However, no one came forward to report their missing child. His description didn't match that of any existing child reports, in the hopes of generalizing leads for his death. His death was broadcast throughout the country via police teletype, or whatever the fuck, leading to visitors from 10 states traveling to Pennsylvania in an attempt to identify him. A request was soon sent out to residents of Philadelphia, child welfare agents, and other law enforcement groups, asking them to call in any information they might have regarding the boy's matches. John Doe's description, who were known to have either recently disappeared or who were in care of someone known to abuse him. Investigators also reported that the local media covered the case, resulting in the Philadelphia Inquirer printing 400,000 flyers and were distributed across the area in places, in gas stations, electricity bills, and articles describing John Doe's scars was also printed in the pediatric journal. Desperate, the case receiving intensive coverage in Pennsylvania and Philadelphia and the Delaware Valley, the boy's identity remains a mystery. Police canvassed the neighborhoods and checked out with every hospital, orphanage, and foster home in the area, but found every child was accounted for. When they tried to compare his fingerprints and footprints, they found he was not registered at any hospital in any national database, leading to some to believe that he was born at home and never reported. It's important to note that strand of long brown hair was uncovered at the scene, which didn't belong to the boy. That's interesting. Police then turned their attention to the box the boy was found in, which once held a white bassinet. A number on it allowed investigators to trace the box to JCPenney store, Upper Derby, Pennsylvania. Located at 69th Street, Chestnut Street, it had been sold between December 5th, 1956 and February 16th, 1957 for $7.50. Wait, that's for real? JCPenney's expensive. Anyways, a search was recorded, shows that only 12 were sold, and while the police were able to track down 8 of the purchasers, the lead turned cold. A crime scene was combed by 270 police academy recruits, which resulted in 3 items of possible evidence to be uncovered. a royal Corby blue cap, a tan child scarf, and a handkerchief, and with the letter G on it. And the corner, the cap, in particular, was of great interest to investigators. It had appeared to be excellent condition and featured the manufacturer's stamp in the lining, which reads Robbins Bald Eagle Cap, 2603 South 7th Street, Philadelphia, PA. When they questioned the shop's owner, Hannah Robbins, they learned that it had been customized for the man who had bought it. According to Miss Roberts, he had been aged between 26 and 30, with blonde hair and no identifiable accents. After purchasing the cap with cash, he never saw him again. Desperate visiting over 100 stores in the area, investigators were unable to find anyone who recognized the cap or the boy. As they kept hitting dead ends, the investigation, a post-mortem photo of John Doe was distributed showing him dressed in a seating position. Eventually, John Doe was buried in Potter's Field in Holmesburg, Pennsylvania, next to Mechanicsville and Duxbury Road. His tombstone read, Heavenly Father, bless this unknown child. Between 1957 and 1958, believing John Doe may have been passed for a female whilst alive, a Fornus artist drew an image of him as a girl. However, this produced no new leads. Former medical examiner office employee Remington Bristrew, I hope I said your name right, I'm pretty sure I didn't, felt a personal connection to the case and worked to find a resolution. In the hopes of coaxing the boy's parents out of hiding, he published a fake story in the local newspaper claiming his death had been an accident and that his loved one had been unable to afford a funeral. Unfortunately, this tactic was unsuccessful. Bristow also personally put up $1,000 reward for information and traveled through Arizona and Texas in the pursuit for leads. He was known to carry a mask of John Doe's face in the briefcase. There was some speculation that John Doe had died as a result of drowning, given the water wrinkles on his skin, but police said that his injuries didn't correlate with such manner of death. The case was eventually featured on America's Most Wanted, and while numerous people called in, no new leads resulted. In 1998, John Doe's remains were examined in order to construct medical DNA for testing. This was taken from an enamel from one of the teeth. The DNA was sent to the University of North Texas and entered into both national and local databases. Unfortunately, it produced no hits. John Doe was entered in the grave marked on America's Unknown Child in Ivy Hill Cemetery in Philadelphia. The cemetery donated the plot, while the son of the man who buried John Doe in 1957 donated the coffin, headstone, and money for the funeral service. The service garnered significant public attention, and residents continued to keep the grave decorated with stuffed animals and flowers. On March 21, 2016, the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children released a I can't pronounce that fucking word, facial reconstruction of John Doe and added details into their database. In August 2018, the genetic genealogist, I hope I said that right, who helped identify the Golden State Killer, announced they would be using DNA profiling in order to try and identify the boy through female DNA. Recently, the Ridicule Society sent out an urgent request from asking those age 55 and older to see if they recalled a boy by the name of Jonathan, who witnessing within 40-mile radius of Philadelphia in 1957. It also asked former physicians to think back and try to remember if they'd treated a boy for a possible medical condition based on the scars that were present on his groin area and his left ankle. Over the years, the case has been reopened and closed numerous times, while new tips continue to be pulled in and followed. Investigators have shared that it is likely the person who murdered John Doe is deceased. Now, I am sorry, you guys. This is going to be the end of the video. I know this was kind of a sad and creepy video, and I hope one day that this boy's true identity comes to light, and I hope that he finds justice, because this is clearly messed up, and I really feel bad for the kid. If anybody has any information at all, even if it's just a little bit, I'll try to put I'll try to find a link for the authorities. I'll put it in the description, or you can go to the authorities yourself. I don't know. So if you are watching this little guy, I hope you find justice. So thank you guys for watching the video. Please like and subscribe to the channel and follow me on everything. You hit the notification bell, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.